Listening devices found in Washington, D.C. Department of Homeland Security saying they can be used to intercept cell phone calls and messages. Here's an image. Associated Press put this out. Releasing an image of the Stingray 2. Former CIA officer Buck Sexton here now to talk about this. Good morning to you.
Good to see you.
You know what the Stingray is?
Yeah, law enforcement can use it. Lots of folks can use it. Actually, you can get some of these things commercially. I think, Bill, this is a reminder for everybody that there is constant possibility of surveillance, interception, espionage, all of that stuff going on in this country, in our day-to-day lives.
So some people think this is nefarious.
Very well could be.
Right?
Right? You would think so.
Or you could drive it around. It's mobile, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can move it around. It depends. There's a whole range of these devices. There are some that are pretty basic and really just give geolocation data. There are others that allow for active surveillance of the actual conversation, which is a little more sophisticated, has to do with what it does to the cell phone signal that it gets. But law enforcement has used these to great effect in this country. They usually keep it a little bit quiet, but it's been reported on pretty widely now. And this is something that if you can get on the commercial market or even on the black market, not hard for folks to use. And if you think about the concentration of military, national security folks, government folks in Washington, D.C., if I were a Russian spy, I'd say it's probably the best place I could think of to set up something like this.
If you're a Russian spy.
Or any spy from any country for that matter.
If you're a spy, you go out and buy one of these.
Well, absolutely. You get your hands on one probably from your own government. I mean, people have this technology outside of our own borders. So there are lots of ways to do this. But it's like I said, it's a reminder that there's operational security that when I was back in the agency, all of us would be informed about. Be careful because of your communications going over an unclassified system aren't going to be kept secure. Beyond that, though, even folks in their day-to-day lives need to understand every email you send, every phone call you make, all the things that you are doing are at least susceptible to interception, surveillance, and people spying on you.
That's a great reminder. What would someone use this for? A criminal matter?
Well, there's a whole bunch of
Or
things.
something worse?
Well, it all depends. I mean, the most common way that you would use this, if you have the higher-end version, would be to literally listen in, because it acts as a dummy cell tower, essentially. So this would pick up, if you called me, it would pick up your signal, and it would allow a third party to listen in on everything that we were saying. So it allows for active surveillance of a phone conversation. Very illegal, of course, but people could do this. And if you are trying to get an edge on government negotiations or just do some industrial espionage, any number of applications, it's a very effective technology.
So if I wanted to figure out what you're talking about, and I go out and get a Stingray, and I place it near your office, I can listen to your phone call.
You absolutely could.
I can also figure out where you are because the ping that is emitted on your cell phone or your smartphone tells me where you are. Correct?
Gives you all of it, depending on the model of the...
Can I legally do this, or do I need to go to a judge?
No, if a private citizen does this, they are looking at federal criminal charges, certainly. And if a law enforcement officer does this, they would have to get a warrant for it. This is not something you could just set up and do. Geolocation data, this gets a little tricky. Geolocation data different from active surveillance of a phone conversation, but you absolutely would need to get...
Okay, so then last point here. The U.S. government could use it. A private detective could use it. A foreign national could use it.
D.C. has been a hotbed of espionage for as long as there has been a Washington, D.C.
So then how much of this is going on today?
Well, some of it we don't talk about, some of it we don't know about, and some of it you can just assume is happening. And that would be for folks walking around the district right now. By the way, we're in New York, another place we find a lot of government figures, people with financial information that's valuable. Just be aware that your cell phone conversation is getting more secure. They're doing things on the encryption side. Email's getting more secure, but the technology to intercept, it's getting better too.
I think Buck Sexton knows more than he's telling us.
Can neither confirm nor deny him.
Thank you, brother.
Good to see you.
See you later.